Bryant head coach Chris Merritt, the team coming off a 38-3 win against Lindenwood on the road. They're going to close out the season. They're going to host SEMO 1 p.m. Eastern time. So, Coach, just some thoughts on your team and their win, and we'll go to some questions.
Sure. It was an odd numbered week, so we won. It's been a constant up and downhill roller coaster for us all year. I think our play in the last 6 games, 5-6 games, conference play has improved quite a bit from earlier in the year. We're rolling into the final week of the season against a very tough and good SEMO team. Lindenwood, you could tell they were beat up. They were down running backs, down quarterbacks, and they fought. But I was really happy with the way our guys went out on both sides of the football and made it a decisive game early. And we were able to get a number of young men playing time, which was, it's good for development and everything else, especially when you're on the road.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach. We'll go to some questions. Ian, do you got questions? You can go ahead, and many as you got if you want to.
Fantastic. Thanks. Chris, how you doing?
Good, Ian. What's going on, bud?
Good. Wanted to talk a little bit about last week. Just a lopsided score. We've talked to you after these games, and you're talking about how your heart rate goes up because you have so many close games like this. Just, was it a relief to be on the other end of a couple of these lopsided wins for you?
Well, it's not a feeling I'm used to. I'm gonna just put it that way. Our last 2 road trips, whether it was Charleston Southern or Lindenwood, those were 2 games that I think we had control of, and it was decided early in the second half. And that's always good. That means that you're taking care of business, that your game plan is solid and kids are performing. And the more of those you have later in the season is probably a pretty good indicator that your team's playing at the level it needs to play. And we're going to need all that for the Saturday coming up.
The offense obviously putting up a big number. Zevi passing the all-time passing record last week, and then might get he's 2 away from the touchdown record. I know we say it ad nauseum, but as the season winds down here and you look back on his progression, just what stands out to you as he ends his junior year coming up?
Well, he's the best we got. There's no question about it. He's offensively, we're going to tick how he ticks. And I think he's been playing the last 3 weeks. I think he's been playing some of the best ball of his career. And the relationships and the chemistry that he has with the receivers have been, and there's a lot of receivers. I mean, he's not, one person heavy in his targets. That's, he stays well within the scheme. I think that was something earlier in his career that he found himself struggling in some games because he would try to do too much by not staying within the scheme of the offense. And these last 3 weeks, the big plays that he's made have been within the scheme. And we keep telling him, and I think he believes it, that if he just does what he's supposed to do, that those plays will come to him. He doesn't need to force things. I really think I don't know if anybody's played better than he has the last 3 weeks.
He got Anthony Frederick for 3 early on too. Just how good is it to see him find the end zone and for him to get going a little bit as the season winds down?
No, sure. Anthony's probably not had as many this year compared to last year in terms of catches. We used to tease him because, and it happened again Saturday. We used to tease him because, he was Ryan Clark's best friend, because Ryan Clark was our short yardage goal line back. And I can't begin to tell you how many times Anthony's caught the ball and all of a sudden he's down at the 1 yard line. And, and that happened again Saturday. We converted a play action pass where he sure enough caught the ball and landed on it. And he was inside the 5, but it just the way it played out.
And then finally this week, it's senior day. It's your last go around here. I looked at the roster. There's 41 seniors and 4 grad guys, so that's 45, which is a big number. 1, how long is this ceremony going to take? And 2, what have the seniors done for your program here? Because you're in your fourth season now too, so you've seen a lot of these guys.
Sure. Well, first off, it won't be as long as you might think. A lot of these guys we were able to talk back into coming back for their fifth year. So they went through it last year. They don't want to go through it again. They don't want to get a rose from me and a hug at the 50-yard line. You know, we have a number of kids, probably around 20 or so, that will be ending their career here. That'll be going through it for the first time. So probably half as many. Yeah, I mean, you look at where we've come from, NEC, Partial Scholarship Conference, to the Big South, to now the Big South OVC. And you look at the growth of the program, and I think we're right there. We're close. You know, don't know what's going to happen Saturday. We're going to do the best we can, but you know, someone's going to have to tell me that 2 1-point overtime losses in conference play just wasn't good enough. And our guys really have fought hard. We've played the best teams in this conference toe to toe, and we need to continue that growth as our culture. You know, it's our culture now. Let's just put it that way. You know, it was first couple of years was difficult. It's never easy when you're moving up in levels ever at all. And the Big South and the OVC are different. I don't care what anybody says. The Big South is all private schools. Financially, we're all kind of like in the same boat. Even facilities wise, we're kind of even. But when you start jumping into conferences with fully funded state schools, where their dollars come from someplace else, it's a different type of football. And obviously we'll find that out next year in the CAA as well. But that's even on a larger scale, because when you look at, you know, there were 5 teams last year from the CAA that made it to the playoffs. And you look at the last 20 years, the national championships, you see quite a few of those teams, whether it was Towson or Delaware, or, you know, you just go through and there's quite a few of them. So, you know, tremendous amount of pride in these young men and what we've been able to accomplish. These were all NEC recruited young men. You know, you always talk about standing on the shoulders of giants, and that's what this program is. Very young. Remember, this program is 23 years old. So, you know, this is hopefully the growth, and we have the support at the university, and we've got to keep it going.
Thank you, Chris.
Yep. Coach, appreciate your time, not only this morning, but all season long, and just best of luck to your team this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.